Imagine for a moment that you are one of the most famous men in the world. You are a philosopher, a playwright, and a high-ranking advisor in the Roman Empire. You live in a villa of white marble surrounded by books, wealth, and the most brilliant minds of your age. Then, in a single day, it is all gone. Accused of a crime you did not commit, the Emperor Claudius orders you into exile. You are stripped of your property, separated from your family, and cast onto the wild, rocky island of Corsica. To the people of Rome, you are effectively dead. To the world, you are a prisoner of the sea. This was the life of Lucius Annaeus Seneca in the year 41 AD. For 8 long years, Seneca lived on an island that was considered a wasteland. Most men in his position would have spent their days in bitter lamentation, cursed by the noise of their own resentment. But Seneca was a student of Stoicism. He understood that while the emperor could control where his body lived, the emperor had zero power over where his mind traveled. His letters on exile are not cries for help. They are a manifesto of mastery. They teach us that the only true prison is the one we build inside our own heads, and that resilience is found in the realization that we carry our own happiness with us, wherever we go. When Seneca first arrived on Corsica, the environment was brutal, the island was rugged, the people were seen as uncivilized, and the wind was relentless. He felt the sting of solitude. But instead of drowning in despair, Seneca practiced the art of observation. He looked at the stars and realized that the same sky hung over Corsica as it did over Rome. He realized that a change of place is not a change of soul. He wrote to his mother, Helvia, to comfort her, saying, "A man is never so miserable as he thinks he is." He argued that external things, wealth, status, and comfort, are merely borrowed from fortune. If fortune takes them back, she is only taking what was always hers, but our internal character belongs to us alone. Seneca's core epiphany was that tranquility does not depend on our surroundings. We often think that if we just had a better house, a better job, or lived in a more beautiful city, we would finally be at peace. We feel like victims of our current environment. But Seneca reminds us that wherever you go, you take yourself with you. If your mind is troubled, a palace will feel like a dungeon. If your mind is free, a barren island can become a sanctuary of thought. He spent his years in exile writing some of the most profound philosophy in human history. He transformed his physical prison into an intellectual laboratory. He believed in the concept of the cosmopolitan, that we are citizens of the world, not just a single city, from the perspective of the universe. Rome and Corsica are just 2 tiny specks of dust. This view from above gave him the detachment necessary to endure his isolation. He understood that our suffering often comes not from the event itself, but from the story we tell ourselves about it. If we tell ourselves that exile is a tragedy, we will suffer. If we tell ourselves that exile is an opportunity for silence and self-reflection, we will grow. Seneca also explored the idea of self-sufficiency. He argued that the truly wise person needs very little to be happy. Most of our desires are artificial. We want things because society tells us to want them. In exile, Seneca was forced to live simply. He discovered that the body needs very little to survive, and the soul needs even less to thrive. This realization provided him with an unshakable sense of control. He had lost everything the world valued, yet he found that he had lost nothing that truly mattered. He was practicing Stoicism not as an academic exercise, but as a survival mechanism. In our modern age, we may not be physically exiled to a rocky island, but many of us feel trapped. We feel imprisoned by our debts, our dead-end jobs, or the expectations of social media. We feel like we are in a mental prison created by our own anxieties and comparisons. We wait for our circumstances to change before we allow ourselves to be happy. But Seneca's letters challenge us to stop waiting. He tells us that freedom is an internal state that you can claim right now, regardless of where you are or what you have. To find your own mastery today, you must identify what you are truly attached to. What are the external things that you believe are necessary for your happiness? Realize that these things are transient. Practice the art of letting go. Understand that your integrity and your reason are the only things that no one can take away from you. When you anchor your happiness in your own character, you become invincible. Take a deep breath. Look at your current challenges not as a prison, but as your own Corsica, a place of testing and growth. You are not a victim of your geography or your situation. You are the sovereign of your own inner empire. Like Seneca, you can find the silence within the noise. You can choose to be free even within the walls of your own life. As you move forward, remember that a free soul knows no boundaries. The walls of your office, your house, or your city are only as small as your mind allows them to be. Expand your internal horizon, watch the stars, practice your discipline, and know that as long as you have yourself, you have everything you need to rule your world. You are not confined, you are merely being prepared for greatness. Stand tall, find your meaning, and live as a citizen of the soul.